Bom dia, boa tarde, boa noite aos internautas que nos acompanham neste programa Nanotecnologia do Avesso. Hoje no seu número 293. Fazemos este programa dedicado ao público não especialista, porque é este público que paga as pesquisas sobre nanotecnologia realizadas no Brasil. Também fazemos este programa porque é aqui que nós podemos discutir os impactos da nanotecnologia na sociedade, no meio ambiente, na economia, na ética, coisa que não são discutidas aonde se faz nanotecnologia no Brasil. Também fazemos este programa porque acreditamos que ser livre é ser bem informado e a divulgação científica contribui, colabora para o aprofundamento da democracia e da cidadania no Brasil. Hoje, conforme nós anunciamos, já estamos conectados com o professor PAPILLOUD, diretamente da cidade alemã de HALLE, que vai nos dar a segunda entrevista sobre o tema da nanotecnologia, mais em especial sobre as iniquidades produzidas pela nanomedicina. Ele vai abordar este tema. Ok, Christian, could you please ask something about your professional experience with nanotechnology? And after this we can start your presentation.
Okay. I am Christian Papilloud. I am working at the University of Halle in Germany, and I have worked also in other universities in France, Switzerland, and North America. I have developed an interest especially for nanotechnology because it is not only a new technology, but it is supposed to be a technology which could change our lives. We have made a previous inquiry in nanotechnology in Europe, especially during 2005 and 2010 with economists. It was a transdisciplinary project with other people, with other scientists coming from several disciplines. And it was a large inquiry regarding nanotechnology in general. I have then made other inquiries in order not only to look at nanotechnology in general, but also at some special development within this field of nanotechnology, such as, for example, nanomedicine and also nanofood, with scientists in North America especially on these last topics. And today I would like to firstly close my first presentation regarding nanomedicine, and second I would like to speak in more general terms on the program, if you want, of the governance of nanotechnology, not only in Europe but also in the world, in order for the audience to understand what are the challenges of nanotechnology for today and for the future.
Okay, you can start your presentation.
Yes. I would like to close the first talk regarding nanomedicine in Germany. It was a special talk concentrated on the German case as a case study, if you want. And we have seen in the previous talk three networks based at Munich. For one network, it was the Nanotechnology Initiative Munich, and a second place of the development of nanomedicine at Berlin, divided in two networks. The first one is the network UNICAT, and the second one is the network SFB. It is a spatial research domain, especially focusing on molecules and big molecules. And the talk was about the several differences that you can find in the research on nanotechnology. Especially one difference that we have seen in the other talk was the difference between nanotechnology at large and nanomedicine. We have seen that nanomedicine is not well-defined research area in the global research on nanotechnology. This has several grounds. One of them is that nanomedicine inherits of the research in other areas, other scientific areas, as for example in the areas of physics, in the areas of mathematics, in the areas of chemistry, so that you have a lot of disciplines converging or collaborating, if you want, on one or two products, or on one molecule, for example, or on one device at the nanoscale. Mainly the goal is to develop medicaments and devices in order to transport medicaments in the body of person which have a strong infection, for example, such as cancer, and we've seen that if we consider that all these scientific areas are working together, the dominant discourse about it is to say this kind of research has to be led from a very experienced scientist, because it is a complicated task involving a lot of specialists. So you have to have someone who has a strong experience in this kind of field in order to lead this kind of projects. An example of the three networks in Germany, where you have development in the field of nanomedicine. This is not the case. If I sum up, we've seen that a scientist without a big background, without a big experience, so to speak, in the field of nanomedicine, play a considerable role in supporting the research activities in the three networks, in Munich and in the two in Berlin. And this, despite of the size of each network, the size of each network means, in this regard, the total number of scientists working in these networks. We have seen in the previous talk that the network NIM at Munich was the biggest one, and the second network, which is not so big, is UNICAT, and the third network, which is a little network, is the SFP 765. But what now if we consider the work related to one part of the scientific activities, so not to the total amount of activities developed in this network, but to the very amount of activities developed only regarding nanotechnology, nanomedicine. In the tree network, this is not so easy to focus only on this kind of activities. We have had the opportunity to focus on this kind of specific activities only within one network, and it was the network at Munich, the NIM network. And this is the reason why I have these two figures at the page 24 on the slide. And I would like to detail this figure in order you to know what it means. First, we see a steady increase in the number of scientific work regarding both areas over the time, which seems to support the discourse of the coordination office at NIM. The discourse of this coordination office was especially discourse of a person who tells us about nanomedicine, saying that at NIM nanomedicine gained more and more importance in the network and in the time also, which supposes that more research activities and corresponding publications are produced in nanomedicine at NIM. This seems to be true if we look at our graphics. We see that you have an amount of especially scientific publication which is increasing in time from 2007 until 2014. The second results that we have here, we see more new scientists, which are scientists which arrive in the network at the time when we do these inquiries. These new scientists are different from the old scientists, if you want, from the experienced scientists in the network. And these new scientists work in both areas, and these areas are firstly the physics and chemistry together. They are one area, if you want, and the other areas are a collection of several scientific disciplines, as for example optoelectronics or pharmaceutical technologies, or what you have, or material sciences, for example, or also biotechnology or biology, and so on. So that we can say that these new scientists are working in the main development areas in nanomedicine, which are traditional areas for the development of nanotechnology in general, physics and chemistry. And these new scientists are also working in the related areas which are more specialized areas made of several disciplines, like I said, biology, material sciences, and so on. What does it mean? It means that these new scientists, at the opposite of what we could think, undertake most of the work in the traditional areas of the development of nanotechnologies related to nanomedicine, and also in the new development for nanomedicine, the new scientific disciplines. There are also scientists, these new scientists, working the most for the network itself, meaning that they are developing relationships outside the work, not only in Germany but also at an international level. And this much more than the experienced scientist. So, and if we take the slide,
the next slide.
The next, yeah. The
Yes.
next on page 25. Mm-hmm.
Yes, is in the screen.
Yes. Okay. What we can say at the example of this network, NIM, firstly that the publications shows strong involvement in the classical field of physics and chemistry, and rather weaker involvement in other disciplines, but this only for the experienced scientists. The not so much experienced scientists are involved also in these other disciplines. Against a supposition which is made when we speak about nanotechnology, we speak about converging technologies, which means a lot of different things, a lot of different scientific disciplines working together. So a strong interdisciplinarity. We have seen that not only for NIM, but also for the two other networks, we have a weak interdisciplinarity. The scientists keep going on in their specialization, if you want, in the specialized area, and are not merging scientific fields together, for example. The position also of nanomedicine within the networks, we have said nanomedicine is is at the top of a pyramid, if you want. It is the result of a lot of activities which have been done in the network, a lot of development in several areas of the network, in the physics, in the chemistry, in the pharmacy, for example, in the biology, in the material sciences. But the position of nanomedicine is not transversal to these networks. It means it is not what structures the work, the scientific work in all these disciplines. Nanomedicine is rather an incremental scientific domain which brings an added value to the work done in the network. And the last conclusion regarding nanomedicine, we see that new scientists, young scientists, scientists with not so much experience, tend to be more active and tend to work harder, so to speak, in the field of nanomedicine, tend to expand the network more than experienced scientists with a strong background in the several areas of sciences. What does it mean? It means that the academic hierarchy it is on the one hand a classical one. The assistants are working for the professors, for example. The less established scientists are working for the more established scientists. But on the other hand, we see a growing population of less established scientists working more, supporting more the efforts, the scientific efforts in the field of nanomedicine. So,
yeah.
That we can say, I'm coming to to the conclusion.
Mm-hmm. Yes, this is in the screen.
Yes. And we can go to the next slide, to the
assessment regarding to the nanomedicine.
Yes,
yeah.
Assessment regarding the nanomedicine in our tree network. Less established scientists carry on most of the scientific activities at both levels of classical scientific research areas, physics and chemistry above all, and new scientific research areas, and less established scientists carry on most of the international cooperation at the benefit of established scientists and the network. What does it mean? It means a growing inequalities among scientists, a growing inequalities among the several fields of these scientists, which lead to the following consideration. The first one is that it seems that the networks of innovation, an innovation which is mainly related to the development of nanotechnologies. Networks place their population of scientists against each other in order to maintain their position at the top of the research on nanomedicine. And this is particularly the case when we consider the work of the not so established scientists, of the young scientists in these networks, regarding the development of collaboration for the network, but not compulsory, so to speak, at their own benefits. This is the first consequence. The second one is the vulnerability of scientific knowledge by the vulnerability of the personnel of the network. What does it mean? It means if you have a strong inequality in the scientific research, you don't only have a problem with the people working, with the scientists working in these network areas, you will also probably get a problem with the knowledge, the scientific knowledge itself. In order to reproduce this knowledge, in order to broaden this knowledge, in order to develop this knowledge, you can't count only on young and not established scientists. You have to push them, so to speak, to higher responsibilities, which is on the one hand the case. This young scientist has the possibility to get more interesting position in the academic life and the scientific life. But given the fact that not all young scientists are getting this kind of position, rather on the contrary, there are very few scientists, young scientists, which are able to go to this kind of position. You have a broadened gap, so to speak, between experienced scientists and not so experienced scientists. And the third remark, the third conclusion regarding these results on nanomedicine, we can say that under this condition, innovation in the form of the development of nanomedicine leads to the mutualization of the costs of innovation rather than to radical progress. This is regarding the activities of the networks, also a problem in order to make the innovation not only staying at the level of the science, but make it profitable for the economics, for example, but also for the society. With a great inequality between scientists itself, with a potential problem in order to produce new scientific knowledge and to reproduce it, you get a problem at the end of the process, if you want, and the end of the process is or meets the question in which way can this kind of innovation, can this kind of scientific research provide some useful innovation for society or for the economics. And this is the beginning of the second talk now. For which I don't have a PowerPoint presentation. I'm sorry for this, but I didn't have time in order to write this kind of presentation. But I hope that you can follow me in my talk.
Yes.
About more generally, if you want, the governance of nanotechnology.
No, I would like to discuss with you, because you put some important points in these conclusions, huh? And my first question is my first question for you is about who is the owner of the science in Germany, because in Brazil the owner of the science is the physicians. Here in Brazil, who have the power in the science development is the physician. In Germany, what is, because I think for your explanation, also the people from the physics is the more important area in nanotechnology and also in nanomedicine.
Yes, in Europe you have you rather have another picture, because you have two leaders which have the power in the scientific development, especially in the field of nanotechnology. It was the chemistry and the physics. But for the case of nanomedicine, and that was surprising for us to discover this kind of results. We have a strong presence of physics, of the field of physics, in the publication related to the work in the field of nanotechnology. So we have not expect such a strong power of the physics in this field. We have expected more power coming from the chemistry, because we know that nanomedicine focus, especially these times in Germany, on cell problematic, molecule problematic, also cell transports, for example, medication transport. So this is an area where you have, or where you can expect that chemistry plays a major role. This is not the fact for the three networks that we have, which are the three main networks for the development of nanomedicine in Germany. You have a very, very strong power of the physicists.
Here in Brazil, the second is the chemistry, but very different power if you compare the physics and the chemistry. And the first very, very high power is the physics. So this is to put this question, this base that the physicist has the power, put something for us, because his conceptions of science and the conception of interdisciplinarity in nanotechnology exclude the human science. What is in the German?
This is quite the same. So that you have a position of the social sciences, or if you want, when we speak not only about social sciences but also about ecological politics, for example, when we speak about social movements, you don't have this kind of actors taking part at a position in the debates about the development of nanomedicine. You don't have any kind of third actor, if you want, of actor coming from outside the technical and natural sciences, which can take part in this kind of discussion about nanomedicine and about the development of nanomedicine. You only have physicists, and you have also the chemistry, and then you have a lot of quite small disciplines, as for example, which which are relevant for the development of nanomedicine, but which are not so much represented in this kind of development, such as, for example, material sciences or optoelectronics or biology and so on. So this is also related, and I mean this is not only the case for Germany, but probably also for the world. This is also related to the fact that you have a strong partnership between science and industry, and the industry and the industries are taking the part of the chemical development in the field of nanomedicine more than the universities, for example, or research center affiliated to the government. So when we look at the side of the academic science, we see the big power of physicists. But when we look now at of the industrial development, industrial research, for example, you will see probably more the power of the chemistry. And this is the case at the example of BASF in Germany, which is an industry which name is well known around the world, developing also some work in the field of nanomedicine, and they are very, very strongly present in this field as an industry. But surprisingly enough, we didn't find a strong tie between industries developing in the field of nanomedicine and the academic research. This is also an argument against the thesis of the convergence of technologies of several social fields, for example, converging together in order to support this kind of development in the nanomedicine. This is not the case. We have some publication coming from the academic world in the direction of the industries and collaborating with the industries, but this is less than 5% of all the publication published by these academic scholars. This is the first point. We have also looked at the other side, the industries, because industries in Germany, but also in the world, also have research centers and scientists publishing for the industries, and there are very few publications coming in Germany coming from the German industries or from multinational in Germany regarding the topic of nanomedicine and in collaboration with academic institutions. So if you want the argument, which is the most powerful argument from Rocco and Bainbridge in the time of 1998 was the following one: nanotechnology, which development will bring together large sphere, large fields of the economics, of the science, and also of society. This is absolutely not the case. This is not what we are observing at the moment.
Yeah.
And this is not only true. And this is not only true for nanomedicine. This is also true for nanotechnology in general.
Yeah. Yeah. Here in Brazil, if you can see the research about nanomedicine, you can find only 5 disciplines. Only physics, chemical, biology, engineer, and medicine. No more.
Yeah.
No more.
Yeah.
There is no in general. Or if you can see research by research, you will see this. The interdisciplinarity is only with these 5 disciplines, and no more discipline from human science, because the conception is that the only people that understand of nanotechnology can contribute in the project, in the program, in the research with this to discover new things about nanomedicine. And there is no discussion, no contribution. Why is the nanomedicine very important for the nanotechnology? Why is the government, public money, put so much money for nanomedicine? I think it's not only nanotechnology, but with another technology to start the development is better to development the with the relationship of the health area. With this, you can legitimate more this new technology with the society. Because
this is exactly the point.
Yes, because you put that we are contributing with the health for the people have more health, because the people has cancer, has another kind of problems of health, and with our research, our new knowledge, he will contribute to put these people more have the quality of life, more quality of life, etc. So I think the new technology start for the community to put the contribution about the health for the peoples. So nanomedicine is one of the case of this.
Yes, this is true. This is actually an essay, if you want, to sell the nanotechnology, certainly nanomedicine, but not the nanotechnology at large, to the public. And in order to empower the confidence of the public in this kind of technology, because we know, despite of what has been said from the European governments or from the nanotechnology National Nanotechnology Initiative in America, we know that the people are not so happy, if you want. They are not so. They don't find nanotechnology especially amazing. They will find some application of nanotechnology maybe amazing, but not all application. This is the first point. But you have then to take the problem at the side of the governments, and this is why we would like to make the second talk related to the problem of governance. Nanotechnology costs a lot of money. This is a lot of investment, public investments, and public investment are the most larger investments now, not only in Europe but also in the world. As for example, in the US, in 8 years, between 2001 and 2009, the government has invested $11 billion in the development of nanotechnology in general, all kind of nanotechnology. And this investment increases in 2010 until 2011 to 67 to 68 billion of dollars of cumulative global public investment. If you take in case of Europe, the European invest less than the USA, but the European community invested approximately 5 billion euros since 1998 within its three framework research programs, 5, 6, and 7. And among the states member of the European community, Germany has invested more than 400 million euro in nanotechnologies between 2001 and 2010. And these investments are have been continuously done from governments, so to speak, until now, and will be done in the future. It means that nanotechnology, this is not only a little technology demanding a laboratory and some scientific working at this technology. This is a huge challenge demanding big, very big infrastructure, very big white rooms, for example, in order to develop this kind of technology, which costs millions of dollars or millions of euros. And you have to justify this kind of investment. And how can you do this the best in order to say this kind of technology will save your life in the future, will cure strong diseases like, for example, cancer and so on. With the work that we have done, we can see this is maybe this can happen, but this is not only the only goal, the only aim of the development of nanomedicine, first, and second, a lot of work done at the level of nanotechnology is not as aim to benefit the economy and the society. This is the first problem, but you have a second one, and the second problem is related to the risks of nanotechnology and nanomaterials, especially, such as carbon nanotubes, well known for its risks, for example, but such also as silver, for example, such as aluminium, for example, such as titanium, such as zinc, and so on. So you have a lot of materials reduced at the level of a molecule, so that you can't see this kind of materials, and these materials have the property to penetrate the strongest wall, if you want to penetrate, so in your body, to penetrate in your cells, and so on. And we don't know at the moment, or we know that only for some kind of materials, in which way these kind of materials could destroy your health, for example, and this is a big problem. So that you can expect that such a government, knowing that nanotechnology is not only a technology, but it is also a danger, so to speak, a potential danger. Knowing that, you can expect that the governments will shape a kind of public policy or a kind of social policy in order to regulate the use of these materials, the use of nanotechnologies, the development also of nanotechnologies, and so on. And there is, to date, no public policy, no social policy which is efficient in this area. So we are speaking about the area of nanotechnology at large, so that you can imagine that there is absolutely nothing done in the specific field of nanomedicine. And this is a big problem. This is a big problem because you have the impression that the money invested in nanotechnologies has to enable the development of this kind of technologies regardless of what the public might think about this kind of technology, regardless of the consequences of the diffusion of such technologies in the public, and regardless, obviously, of the recycling process of this kind of technology, because we know that some kind of materials cannot be so easy recyclable, which lead us to a third conclusion. What are we doing with this kind of technology in the future? How do we deal with the potential dangers related to this kind of technology, not only now, but also in the future? And this is a big problem that we have seen. This doesn't mean that there is nothing which has been done in the past regarding the regulation of nanotechnology. You have a lot of events organized all around the world in order to address this kind of problem. So this is not a cynical ratio, if you will. This is not cynical politicians which have decided, okay, we are not saying anything to the public regarding nanotechnology. We just want to develop this kind of technology, and we want to make profit with it, and that's all. No, this is not true. There were attempts to regulate nanotechnology. There were codex of good practices, for example, which have been formulated. There were a lot of conferences which have taken place all around the world in several forms, as for example, consensus conferences, public forum, public focus, citizens jury, small talks, demos, and so on. For the major events you have from 2003 until now, almost 30 to 40 big events organized at the level of the regulation of nanotechnologies. And you have a kind of proactive approach developed in these conferences, saying that politicians, scientists, industrials, and also the public should come together, should join a meeting together in order to speak about the possible policies regulating nanotechnologies, and about also the limit of the development of such kind of technology. But in the praxis, you don't have any outcome of this kind of conferences, because you don't have any compulsory policy at the European level as at the international level outside Europe, which says, okay, you have developed this kind of technology, so now you have to test it before you can sell it, and when you sell it, this is under this kind of condition and not others. You don't have that.
Yeah.
This is also the reason why it has discouraged a lot of people to take part in this kind of events. It has discouraged a lot of countries to organize this kind of events, so that you have events, but you have small or smaller events, and more in these events you don't have public participation from citizens, for example, or from people coming from political movements, for example. You don't have that. You have only stakeholders, as they call themselves. So people coming from the industry or from science, holding projects, so to speak, and speaking together about the best way to make the project happen, and to make the project and to put the project on the market. So if you take the picture and summarize it between what we have said about nanomedicine and what we say now about the regulation of nanotechnology, what do you see? You see, on the one hand, a problem in the scientific world itself in order to deal with this kind of technology. They deal with this kind of technology, but not in a perspective, in a sustainable perspective, not in a way saying, okay, we have to develop something which is sustainable not only in time, but also regarding the several population that we have in our societies. This is not what's happening. The second problem that you have, this is also not what is happening regarding the scientific knowledge. Nanotechnology doesn't seem to benefit the scientific knowledge, to benefit the enhancement and to benefit the enlargement of this kind of knowledge. When you take the other problems of the regulation of nanotechnology, you see that this kind of development has not been attached to some kind of rational politics. But there is absolutely nothing which can regulate this kind of development, which can come and say, okay, people, you are developing such a kind of technology, but is it useful? Will it be used from the people? And does it make sense regarding our societies, our societal problems? No, you don't have that. So that you can think that if the development, especially of nanomedicine, continues this way, you will have not only strong inequalities within the science, which was in the previous talk. You will also have strong inequalities within the population itself, regarding not only the access to health and to health care, but also all the related sphere around health. So the access to insurances, for example, and the access to some kind of social position, because insurances, but not only, you have also the possibility, if you are healthy, you have also the possibility to get more credits, for example, from a bank, because you can count on you can bring the money back when you're so far. So this is not only a little problem, this is a very big problem, which seems to get in the direction to increase inequalities, not only in the access to something, but also de facto, almost between the people. And this is the contrary of what the people said at the end of the 90s when they have supported the development of nanotechnology, because they've said nanotechnology should bring us to a better world. And this is not what is coming now. We are not going to a better world. We are going to another world, surely, and potentially to a world with increasing inequalities, and with increasing inequalities not only globally in society, but also in several other spheres of society, where we thought inequalities were not a problem. There will be a problem with inequality, as for example in the scientific development.
Okay, I agree with you, your reflection about this. Here in Brazilian case, if you see the budget for nanotechnology, you have 9.9% for new knowledges for the productions, and the only 1% of new knowledges of only on 1% of the budget is for new knowledge for the impacts. This is the relationship 9.9 for new knowledge for production and the 1% of the new knowledge of the impacts. And the other thing that is important is the conception of the who decide about nanotechnology, that is the physicians, is the phrase that the people believes and the practice is that only can decide about nanotechnology who understand about nanotechnology. So the people that is doing the nanotechnology don't put the results for the people that doesn't understand of nanotechnology. So is the circle. The same people that now understand will continue to understand. And the people, the general people that doesn't have information cannot to understand the nanotechnology. So who have the power to decide now will continue to decide, because only can understand nanotechnology can decide. So the people here doesn't want to know, to see, and to listening something about the public control or public participation or public engagement. There is no budget for this. No, there is no budget for this. And the conception is that the society has the obligation to put money to make more research, and the researchers doesn't have the obligation to show for the public that put the money what is doing with the public money, what is the result of the many programs in nanotechnology. So this is the political fighting that he has doing in our activities here with the who deciding about nanotechnology. So I think it's we in Brazil, you in Europe or in Germany, and our friends in the United States, we are in the same umbrella. That is the public resource, the public money is using only or most preferential to produce more knowledge for the new process, new products, and the money for the impact doesn't have money for producing new knowledge for the impacts of nanotechnology. And also this governance here in Europe, in the United States, doesn't want to have the public participation or social control in the development of this kind of new technologies. I think this is the characteristic that is the same in our governance in Brazil, in Europe, United States.
Yes. Yes, this is true. This is an important point. I mean, because the boundaries between the public and the development of scientific activities in this field, and also between the public and the politics, are stronger than before, so to speak. You can also see that when you look at the organization of this kind of public events on nanotechnology, you have a disinterest at the side of the public for this kind of events, because they don't have the impression that the scientists and the politicians take care about what they said about their concerns. So they don't come to this kind of events. And this is a big problem, because you can sell then, you can develop and sell nanotechnologies as you want. You don't have any of that. You don't have any critics coming from the public, or such kind of critics which won't be taken into account because they are radical critics, as for example in France. You have no kind of dialogue, of discussion between the parties. And this is probably a big challenge for the future, because you cannot support a technology without the acceptation of the population. There are several scientists, which means with, for example, the nuclear research and the nuclear the nuclear research. So we don't have asked the public if they want to support that or not. And here you have slowly exactly the same problem. You have had at the beginning of the year of the century, of the 21st century, an interest from the scientists and from the politics to discuss with the public about the possible issues of nanotechnology, the possible risks. But in the time from 2000 until now, you have a decrease in that kind of dialogue, you have a decrease in that kind of discussion, and we are, so to speak, in a situation which is worse than the situation that we have at the beginning of the development of nanotechnology, because the people don't know what is going on, and because the scientists and the politicians haven't been able to put a rational politic in place in order to regulate nanotechnology. You can see it at a European example very, very well, I think, when you take into account the REACH initiative related to the chemical products and the sale of chemical products in Europe. The REACH, you have two REACH propositions which have been made from the ecological parties in Europe, REACH 1 and REACH 2. And in the REACH 2 proposal, there were a lot of things regarding nanotechnology, as for example the impossibility for industries to sell nanotechnologies if they don't declare what are in the products that they want to sell on the market. They have to declare if there are nanoparticles, for example, and if these kind of nanoparticles could be dangerous for the humans. But this kind of proposal was only a recommendation. It is not compulsory. It exists. It exists. It means that normally someone who is developing nanotechnology at an industrial level has to declare what kind of nanoparticles are in his products, but this is not compulsory. It is not threatened to go in jail if he doesn't do that. So this is really the problem. You don't know what are in these products because the people are not constrained to say it to you. And this is the worst situation in comparison to 2000 or to the end of the 90s? Because at the end of the 90s, you had a hope for such a discussion between civil population and scientists and politicians, but you don't have it anymore now.
Okay, Christian, we have to finish the program. It's 1 hour and 5 minutes we are talking. And thank you so much for your contribution. And
thank you.
And he will have another opportunity for this.